So in the last video, you guys shown a lot of love on this Iman Gadzhi animation breakdown video. But let's suppose you are actually an Iman Gadzhi's editor, and you have given the actual raw file to edit for him. Then what would you do? When I started video editing, I would have said, I will put animation at every point. But let me remind you, if you follow this process, then I guarantee you that you will never deliver the project on time. Because even the 5 seconds of animation can take up to an hour to create. And if you watch closely Iman's video, they never use animation all the time. Instead, they use screenshots, screen recording, clips from YouTube, and present them in an attractive way. So in this video, we are going to see how you can transform boring screenshot into 3D animation. How to turn this boring stock video into this, which Iman Gadzhi use all the time. And you will also learn how to create this box animation, and so much more. So without downloading the video, let's get started. First, we will learn how to present a screenshot in a professional way. If you analyze the Iman's video, then you will figure out that they don't confuse viewer while presenting a screenshot. They know that the average attention span of an ordinary person is declining day by day, so they don't want the audience to focus on unnecessary things. They use highlighting effect, vignette effect, counting effect, blur useless things to control the eyes of viewers. So first of all, we will learn how to make this counting number animation, which hardly takes some minutes and look very professional in Iman's video. So first of all, we will take a screenshot by pressing Windows plus print scan. And if you don't want this unnecessary things in your screenshot, then press F11 to go full screen, or search how to go full screen in your browser. Now we take it into After Effects and import it in our composition. Now we will make a shape layer to hide these text so that we can animate the text in place of that. So we will zoom in and select the rectangle tool and click on this fill. Now press on this color picker button and click on this to match the color of the rectangle so that when we draw the shape, it completely matches with the background. Next, we will type any text and adjust its scale according to this text and align it so that it fits perfectly right next to this text. Next, we will move ahead to Effects and Set, and open this AE Counter preset and go to the decimal section. And if you see the Iman's animation, you can notice there are 2 decimal. So we will also put 2 decimal preset. And now press U and go to the last keyframe and type 5.40 so that it animates till 5.40. Now we will type another text like this and again, adjust its position and scale so that it seems natural. Now we will put typewriter preset on this text and again press U and drag this keyframe here so that it animates faster. And now we will apply deep glow and decrease its intensity to 0.08 and then copy this deep glow and paste on counting number text. Next we will pre-compose all the layers and make it 3D. Now press R and Shift plus P to bring both positions and rotation property. What you have to do is find a perfect angle where you want to begin your animation, and when you get that, make some keyframe and adjust some subtle movement. Now we will select all the keyframes and apply this graph to add the extra butter to our animation. This already looks good, but to take it to the next level, we will duplicate this layer and make a mask something like this. Now go to the bottom layer, press T to bring opacity property and add a keyframe. Now move 1.5 seconds forward in timeline and decrease the brightness to around 50%. Now you can notice these hard edges, which doesn't look good. So we will press M 2 times and adjust the feather amount so that it blends to original. And this is how you turn this boring screenshot into an incredible animation. Next, we will create this effect, which Iman's editor throw on every clip. This not only make the video interesting, but also avoids copyright issue in the long run. So to create this effect, what you have to do is drop the Venetian Blind effect on your video layer, then increase the transition completion to 100% and decrease the width to 10. Next, we will apply optics compensation, and which is optional. Basically, it is used to make a bulging effect in the applied layer. If you watch closely, you can notice that they have some RGB split effect, which gives the CRT vibes. So to make this, we will apply deep glow and decrease its intensity, something like this. Now open the chromatic abbreviation and enable it, and increase this slightly until you see RGB abbreviation on your video. Now you can see how we transform this into this. And for my lazy subscribers, I have some presets by which you can easily get that look by just dropping these presets, so don't forget to grab them in the end. Next, we will learn how to make this text highlighter effect. So let me zoom in so you can see properly. Here, I will press G and pick a yellow color. click on the beginning of the text and then hold Shift and press on the last text which you want to highlight, and this will create a straight line. Now I will adjust its thickness, its stroke width. Now I will press F4 and change its mode to exclusion so that the text which is underneath the stroke starts to appear. Now we will add trim paths and animate its end property. And easy ease the keyframe to smoothen the animation. Now we will pre-compose all the layers and make it 3D. Now we will animate it just like before to give some fake camera animation. Now to create that blur, we will add a camera and open the camera option and activate the depth of field. Now what we are going to do is increase the aperture to a higher number. And now when we will change the focus distance, then you can see this cool effect which looks very amazing. So we will animate the focus distance, and that's how we achieved this cool looking animation. If you have some more time, then you can apply any texture like this and apply CC Vignette on an adjustment layer. And also throw some deep glow on yellow shape layer to come up with this result. Now first of all, congratulate yourself. You're trying so hard to level up your skills. Next, we will create this backbox pop-up animation. And we will also create this sliding text animation. So I will make a black color rectangle with only fill selected. I will make it about the same size as original one. Now I will pre-compose this rectangle. Now I will round the edges of this rectangle like S25 Ultra and then duplicate it and just disable the fill and activate the stroke. Now click on this and make a gradient ramp. If you press V, then you will notice this line. And so I will drag this to adjust the ramp like original animation. Now I will decrease the opacity of black rectangle to 50%. Now I will press Y and adjust the anchor point in the center of the rectangle and now make it 3D. Now make a scale keyframe and drag it forward and click on this chain icon to unlink the uniform scale. And now press 0 in Y property of the scale. And now select the keyframe and easy ease them. Next, I will go inside the pre-comp and type some random text and elements just for fun. But our main goal is to learn how we can make this sliding text animation. So for this, we will type some random numbers like this. Now I will align the text something like this. Now we will apply optics compensation to create this curve effect. At this moment, we will select this point and then click on the center of the text. Basically what it does is tell the After Effects to bend the text at this point. Now if we increase the field of view, then you can see this starts to bend, and that's what we want. But here is a problem that we don't want this part of the text to be visible. So to hide this, we will apply CC Vignette and again select this point and click on the center of the text. Now if we increase the angle of view, then you can see it fixed our problem. Now to slide the text, we will apply offset effect on the text layer and move it on the top of every effect. Now if we change this property, then you will find out the exact method how they created that effect. And you just have to animate this property and you are done. So I will make some keyframes and apply some nice easing to it. Now if you want to drop the cherry on the cake, then apply the CC Force Motion Blur on the pre-comp layer so that it applies the motion blur to all the things inside the pre-comp. One more thing, if someone wants to create that moving line, then drop the roughen edges effect of the stroke rectangle. And this was the reason we put two rectangles, one with only fill and one with only stroke, so that it doesn't affect the fill rectangle when we drop the roughen edges effect. So I will decrease the border to 0, and now we will animate this evolution option. So I will press this stopwatch icon while holding Alt key and type time times 10 to the power of 3. And this is how we got this nice pop-up animation just like original one. Now let's suppose Iman Gadzhi is talking about his website. At that moment, the basic idea would be to record a screen recording. And most of the people do this mistake that when they start to record, they simply just drag mouse wheel like this, which doesn't look professional, and this top menu bar is also visible and you have to remove this as well. So why don't we fix it while recording correctly and remove all the headaches? So first of all, you have to make it full screen so that you can remove all the unnecessary elements while recording. And second thing, press the wheel button, and you will see this double arrow icon. And when you drag your mouse, it will start rolling at a constant rate without any stopping movement, which feels very smooth. Now when you edit this, what you have to do is just put CC Force Motion Blur, and while scrolling, you will get that smooth motion blur immediately. And by the way, If you want to make this text animation, which is very commonly used in Iman's video, then apply Slide Up by Word Text preset in After Effects. In the next video, I will show you how to create vector animation like Iman Gadzhi, so turn up the bell icons if you haven't already. And if you want to see how you can make this popular Iman Gadzhi animation, then watch this.